Welcome to Empress Ebony's Tarot. If you're new here, my name is Ebony. Hello, how you doing today? My father named me Ebony, and here we use tarot primarily for personal growth tools. I am an intuitive reader, although I hone my craft and perfect, not necessarily perfect, but I hone my craft and find my ways to interpret the messages and how they come through. If you cool with that, then we cool. Stick around, take a seat, grab you a snack, grab you something to drink, grab you something to take some notes with, get comfortable. But not too comfortable though. Strong boundaries over here. I be seeing the stuff y'all doing in the comments. Again, strong boundaries over here. Respect. All right. Tribe, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Give the newcomers some compassion and grace, gratitude. Show them to the areas and whatnot, so we can go ahead and get this tank started. Now, this came up off of a short. Spirit said you got to keep going with the cards that's in your bag. So, some cards that I've been carrying around for the last few days that we're gonna add to these angel numbers. But leaving off, I was getting the energy of this being the time for you to go ahead and embrace transformation, whether or not you have been catapulted into transformation involuntarily or voluntarily. This is about alignment. This is about your perseverance and you learning that you are resilient and you have been doing the damn thing is what I heard. You have been doing the damn thing. Perspective shift, reflection, resilience, inner wisdom, enlightenment, determination. Now is the time to shift your perspective on the challenges that currently dominate your life. To achieve success, continue on your path with determination. Tap into your inner wisdom and you will intuitively know the right next step to take. So it's like you got to take swift action on that. You know the next step to take. You already know what it is that you're supposed to be doing in this season. But the back and forth is because you're afraid to start over again. And Spirit is telling me with this 1313 start fresh, which wasn't the 1313 that came out in the short. The 1313 that came out in the short had to do with seeking comfort. And that's what you're doing. You're trying to seek comfort. You want to keep going back, as in the page of swords energy. You want to keep going back in your mind as at the times that you started over again. But you're not starting over again this time. You're starting fresh. That means you're starting from beginning in the sense of the level, but you have the experience because you've been through it before. What you haven't realized with these cycles and what stops you from taking swift action and thinking about the past is that you haven't realized that, one, you're already in alignment, thank you spirit, but you haven't realized that these cycles that you feel like you keep repeating is because you've learned a lesson, but you keep forgetting that somehow. At this point, it's not about whether or not you starting over again and about the lessons learned, because there's no more lessons you need to learn to move forward, to take this next step. As I said before, there's no lesson that you need to learn. You just have to recognize that you've already learned these lessons. So your task is pattern recognition. That's what's truly going to align you with what's supposed to be going on with you right now. That's truly what's going to have you put yourself first. You go from 0 to 1 with this new beginning. Focus on yourself first. Independence, confidence, authenticity, new beginnings, self pursuit. This is your time to focus on yourself, embrace your independence, and stand confidently in your truth. Unapologetically be you. New beginnings are on the horizon, making this perfect, making this the perfect moment to start fresh and pursue your dreams with renewed energy. Damn, spirit. No wonder you told me to go on. Okay. What steps can I take today to honor my independence and stay true to myself? Take time today to set a clear intention for a new beginning in your life. Focus on what truly matters to you and take one small step towards achieving it. Baby, at the very back of the deck, 22 opportunities, expansion, possibilities, courage, exploration, growth, fearlessness. Think big and expand your horizon as far as possible. Don't set limits on yourself or what you believe is possible. Don't let fear stop you from opening your mind to opportunities you might otherwise miss. What opportunities am I missing out on because of self-imposed limitations or fear? Today, take a step towards something that scares you and embrace it as an opportunity for growth and expansion. Bring it right back to the first card that came out, swift action. In cycles before, when you needed to take swift action towards this transformation, this renewal, this fresh start, this alignment, you didn't. You let fear cripple you. You stood at the top of the ledge like the three of um, wands instead of taking that leap forward like the fool. Dead ass. Give me one moment, tribe. Excuse me. All right, tribe. We back at it. Excuse the interruption. It won't be long for y'all, but it's pretty much a whole nother day for me. But I left off with stating that you weren't taking the leap as the fool does, yet standing at the top of the ledge like the three of wands instead of taking the leap. One, focus on yourself first is at the bottom of the deck. 22 opportunities at the very back of the deck. I'm not sure if we read those or not, but I feel like in a sense we don't need to. That's not needed in this moment uh, to go forward. If we come back around to it, then we shall. But what I'm getting as the day has, as it's a new moment with these cards still being out, I still get the swift action needed to be um, taken, and I understand the pause. I understand the Three of Wands energy because you're looking for that foresight. You're attempting to see the unseen, know the unknown. So what I've been pondering on is the fact that that's the ego chiming in. And what I got earlier today was the acknowledgement of ego. That was the phrase, the acknowledgement of ego. And I was like, what do you mean? Like in my drewski, what do you mean by that voice? Yeah. So I thought about it. And then as I was proceeding, I was drawn to look at the cards that are on the table now. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. Like, that's what this reading is about. Like, acknowledgement of the ego, but not feeding into the fear, assessing whether or not you are in true danger with this decision, with this new beginning, with, this fresh start in alignment. Also, the last, because this is going to be clipped up. but the last portion was 6 minutes and 56 seconds. That may mean something for folks. Bear got stuck inside the box. It didn't come out with everybody else. Mixer is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like with this energy, it's, the chaos of baking, but when everything comes together, the acknowledgement of, damn, well, now I got to clean it all up. That's if you aren't cleaning as you go along. But this image gives that essence of a person not cleaning as they go along, probably new at something. So everything seems as if it's chaos, but things are actually getting done. There's an actual accomplishment made amidst the chaos of the kitchen. Bear being at the back of the deck really does give me like that mama bear, papa bear, safety kind of energy. And the word that is bringing me to on this card is protection, mental strength, resilience, which is AKA perseverance. The mixer card, the coming together of differences, chaos, confusion, complex situations. I feel, yeah, it's definitely a complex situation when you embark on a new beginning, when you're starting fresh, not starting over, because you're not starting from square one. You could be starting from square one in as in the level, or as in the money, so to say, but you're not starting at square one like with no experience. You've been through this level before. You kind of, again, got that Three of Wands energy. You got foresight of where you're going to run into danger, which aligns with that pattern recognition. Thank you, Spirit. Having that pattern recognition and turning that pattern recognition on, so that when you're in that moment that the ego shows up, like, whoa, what the fuck is you doing? You about to jump off this cliff? I mean, we don't even know what's down there, all of that shit, so that you can assess whether or not the risk is worth the reward, is what I just heard, or whether or not you are really in imminent danger. That's what the ego is for, fight or flight, letting you know that there's danger amongst. But a lot of our egos are thrown off because it's been set up that way, especially here in the US. Like, you always feel like you're under attack. That's why you get those guys that be like the man, all of that kind of shit. Even though some of it is valid, you know, can't negate that. Two things can be true, but assess whether or not this new beginning is really something you should be scared of, or really something that you should be brave and embrace. So the difference between scared here is being, staying stagnant, letting fear, keep you at a standstill, basically relinquishing control, letting whatever be will be, versus being brave. Like, shit, I feel, I'm getting that feeling that something might happen, even though, I can't assess whether or not there's something that might happen is going to be good or bad. I'm not going to let the fear of it turning out to be bad stop me from going ahead and, taking that leap forward, making that swift action towards, wherever you decide. Right now, I'm getting like the image of basketball, like a person in a mind. I'm hearing him in his mind, like assessing the game. It's like game point. Do I do this or do I do that? If I do this, such and such could happen. Yeah, analyzing the board. Thank you, Spirit. But on the court, will he freeze and not do what his gut is telling him and make that swift action towards the thing that seems like it may be most difficult? Or is he gonna play it safe to ensure the win. Because I feel like the win here is not like the championship, winning. It's the, the trusting of yourself, the acknowledgement of, hey, I made a decision and it worked out for me, is what I'm getting, versus getting the trophy and the accolades and this, that, and the third. Because what I'm feeling is making the difficult decision could in some way take away from the others on the team. And this person, basically deciding in the moment whether or not they're gonna put themselves first, focus on themselves first, get the win because they know they'll get it, and have that moment that they envision in their mind of them winning and shooting the game shot, or playing it safe and kicking it to somebody that is guaranteed to win. So this feels like underdog energy too. Thank you, Spirit. At the bottom of the deck right now, cross, religious belief, spirituality, surrender, prayers, the battle between good and evil. Like, yeah, this illusionary shit, which is gonna take you to a dead end. Sorry, not sorry. A place or condition where things must stop or options are exhausted. Because that's where you at right now. I feel like that's where you at right now. A lot of people, you at a dead end. You just gonna sit there crying that it's a dead end, or you gonna try to scale one of these walls? All right, Spirit. Rejection most times is your protection. Stop you from something that you don't really even want anyway. You just think you want it because everybody else say you're supposed to. And it's also another, at this, on this card, another crossroads. You at the stop sign. Which way you going? What swift action are you taking? What direction are you going towards? I'm hearing the time is now, like in that the wrestling shit. The time is now. Loneliness at the bottom of the deck, obstacle at the very back of the deck. So that's what's stopping you from making this swift action, this action that you know you need to make. Because this really feel like, especially from the basketball scenario, the guy on the court, like, if you put yourself first and you trust your gut and you trust your alignment, you trust what you've been doing, what you've been working on, how you've been transforming your game, this shit can either go marvelous or it could hit the backboard, that rejection, that loneliness, that obstacle that will set you back. Another decision that you've made to trust yourself when you shouldn't have, type shit. That's crazy. That a person that, but hey, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes it be like that, but when it get, what I feel like in that sense, when it gets like that, that's when you gotta really reassess, like those decisions that you've made, to kind of really zero in on, was this decision made out of perseverance, so it ultimately got you where you needed to go. It held off the inevitable is what I'm hearing, or it kept you afloat. Assess the decisions that were made, and if they were truly only your decisions, like if they were void of influence from others that may have been stoking and stroking fear for whatever reason. That's what I'm getting with that. And this is a group of people that feel like isolation, rejection, obstacles, not being, I'm hearing this is something you cannot get in. Like the teasing of shit is what stops a motherfucker from, like this elementary shit that's like that's stopping you from making your decisions. Like you trust the influence of others, or you listen to everything and make your decision, and then claim the decision as your own. Like if you can in any of these instances, remember what your gut reaction was, your gut decision was, and whether or not you went with that, or you know the safe route is what I'm hearing, because it's bringing me back to that other 1313 card in the deck that's seeking comfort. I'm hearing find comfort in the rejection. Move on. Yeah, because yeah, because it's really just the proverbial angel or demon on your shoulder. You got a choice. You have a decision to make in regards to new beginnings and fresh start, whether this is with a or whether this is going to be alignment, or whether this is going to be a cycle repeated. You hermit energy, where it's you checking in with good or evil, as we came out with the mixer. That's what you're doing. So on one end, it's like, okay, the very best outcome. On the other end, the very worst outcome. And you stuck in the middle on your quest, in the void, in the unknown, because you can't see forward. You can't see your way forward. You can't see your way forward. But how the cards fell out, you understand what I'm saying? And they fell out on perseverance. But it's the clarification of cycles. So as I said, you done this before. You have leveled up from this level tenfold. But for some reason your pattern recognition is off. So you right back at 0 and 1, trying to make a decision that's already made if you pay attention to the pattern. You get what I'm saying? I hope so. If you get it, you get it. And I'm gonna leave these just as they are. I gotta make that quest show up. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So it ain't no confusion. The cycles is the quest down a road that you've traveled before. Authority. Are you going to take control? The ability to control or influence the actions or decisions of others. In this instance, I'm gonna say yourself, because that's control more than authority. You see what is happening with authority. So I'm getting autonomy, self autonomy with this. Like, are you going to recognize yourself as the authority and take control of your actions and decisions without the influence of others? Will of fate. Are you gonna keep on the loop, calling it fate, saying that you can get off, you know, I'll take the next stop type shit. I'm getting the bus ride stuff and I'm still hearing that song faintly. Whatever, something, something. It's a something, something you cannot get in. I wish I knew it. It's a song. It's definitely a song. But it's the energy that is coming through with is like a taunting energy. So the wheel of fate is like taunting you. Fate continuously moving in a cycle or completely breaking free from a certain loop. So, and this is got to do with cycles in your quest. The very back of the deck, underneath it all, is if you are you gonna keep stating that you have no authority and you are assigned to keep going on the wheel of fate, the unbreaking cycle, the song that never ends. New beginning, rats. I'm gonna pull another one. Rats in reverse. That damn song keep coming up. You cannot get in. That's what you say to those mischievous. We all know what rat energy is on a negative scale. I don't, me personally, like I'm gonna say it before and I'm saying it again. I don't see the good qualities of having mice around. Like that's what's. But okay, them as a move on. Okay, but it's unsustainable tendency to hide or conceal and theft. Yeah, come in your house, they steal your food, make a bunch of babies, baby's kids. I'm hearing the baby's kids thing. We don't die, we multiply. Yeah, just like roaches. You know what I'm saying? Just pests. That kind of shit. The pest type people that come to siphon your energy, cause instability in your life, make you fear rejection. I don't know why, because they seem like slack ass individuals, and I don't even say slack because I don't really get that, you know, lingo. But yeah, this new beginning is going to take effort. That these people pulling you down will not help you get to the peak precipice, level up that you are seeking, that you envision for yourself. They're giving me the image of people hiking, and not only hiking but rope climbing. So you hike to a certain point and then you rope climb because that's your only way up. So imagine you launching your rope, getting it anchored in, letting other motherfuckers go up on it because you're the more skilled, and then halfway on your ascend up, they get to trying to unanchor or cut your rope. That's that rat energy that can't come to this new beginning with this new beginning. The witch is in the bad low vibrational look spirit. They started off with the good and bad, good and evil shit. They got the you know I don't feel that there's good, bad. There just is. So this has a lot to do with, again, the illusions, the indoctrinations, the reason why you feel like you can't take swift action anyway, being who they told you to be versus being who you always knew you wanted to be. Nobody's doing magic and enchanting on you. Oh yes, the fuck they are. This whole system is magic. This whole ism system, which is a ism, is magic, witchcraft, feeding off of fear, feeding off of lust, but mostly fear. But mostly fear. You have the same. You can do it too. I'm hearing you can do it too. You can do it too. But while I was speaking about that, I was seeing a vision of me as a look. I don't even remember how far back I kept saying I wanted to be 40. I wanted to be 40. And a few things via social media had got me to, pondering on that, thinking about that. It was a few thought provoking questions that I seen on the social media today. That was like, why the fuck was I so pressed to be 40? And long story short, it's because I knew that was when I was gonna have my awakening. I knew that was when I was gonna be truly unscared and unbothered to say what it is that I got to say. And then in that same conversation, I was like, I thought back on a conversation I had with my daughter, and a knowing that I have with the fact that me being silent is the only thing saving some people's reputation. But the fact that I don't, be giving a fuck about that type of shit, like I don't care to, I don't care to indulge in it. Cause one, it ain't for everybody, and two, I'm not trying to one up nobody, and three, whatever a person did to me or whatever interaction that I had with a person, it was meant to happen for this 42-year-old version of me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I'm gonna leave it there. Peeking up, we got Harmony. Snake is behind Harmony. Relax is behind Snake, and then Mask is popping up in there too. So I feel like this. I feel like with that energy, it's a rat in your circle, in your vicinity, in your energy that is very knowledgeable, but they are also an enchantress. They enchant. Um, doesn't have to be feminine energy because I'm getting feminine energy, but I'm seeing a male stature. You get what I'm saying? So take that how I resonate for you. But what I'm feeling is a feminine energy, but what I'm seeing is a male stature. So you could possibly separate the male stature away because that could, you could put it. Don't force it. Period. Don't force it. But what I'm feeling is again a person that is knowledgeable, but has on a mask to you in your encounters with this person. They're one of the rats. Yeah. Revenge at the bottom of the deck. They seek revenge. They don't really want to see good things happen. They don't want to see you as the best version of yourself. They don't. It's a threat for you to get to that. Not only because it invalidates the narrative that they spun about you, but it forces them to realize that they could have done the same. Dog, void, dog mask void, balance up under that. So yeah, it's gonna force them to realize what they were loyal to, the mask, the facade, versus themselves, and repairing themselves, making the time better. Yeah, this energy right here that I'm getting right now is somebody who they find a joy in being swept up in the maze and proverbially held captive because they have someone to blame, therefore someone to seek revenge on. Okay, spirit. We moving on to perseverance. That rat new beginning energy is heavy. Like it's a lot. It's coming from a lot of directions. And it kind of wants to take over the reading, but it's time to move on to perseverance. Because that's that fear energy. The main motherfuckers that want you to fear going on this journey, going on this quest, to fear taking off, taking flight. We're not keeping all of these, but we will. Journey, cross, solution, anchor, luck. Okay. So okay. Spirit wants this like in the in between. You you are definitely dealing with some people that can't go with you. Right now, they don't appear to be a rat. They can even be reminding you of how strong you are. Yeah, because they stand strong. They're saying strong. So they're reminding you of how strong you are even in this moment. But I'm hearing don't forget the ego acknowledgments. So it must have been some stuff where, yeah, it must have been some stuff where you was second guessing these people. But all in all, with the perseverance, in between the perseverance and your new beginning, I'm feeling like you're going to take flight regardless. The anchoring is you grounding yourself and finally finding solutions within versus outside of yourself. Because in this round, the cross is it's still bringing me to traditions of religion and all that kind of stuff, but it's more or less bringing me to the surrender. It's more or less bringing me to the surrender. Like you surrendered to the fact that it was you thought like, damn, I done made so many things have happened and I've searched for the answers outside of self. How about this time around I find solutions within? Ground down, sit my ass down for a minute, anchor down, hunker down is what I heard the most. And deal with the luck of the draw. But yeah, tr- trust my gut, surrender to my gut feeling this time. Fortune at the bottom of the deck, conflict at the very back of the deck. I feel like that that's limiting yourself to the bow and I'm hearing innuendos, idioms of goldfish being good luck type shit. But goldfish are temporary. Goldfish die really fast. But this is more or less about limiting yourself to the bow. You're limiting yourself to the bow instead of being instead of using your perseverance skills and jumping out of the bow because you're not a fish. Is what I heard. Like also the fortune and the overall way to deal with conflict is to face it head on is what I heard. But it's to learn about conflict, learn from conflict, understand that conflict is necessary, and those that um, attempt to evade conflict can easily be manipulated. And those people that are masters of conflict, aka chaos, are master manipulators. Perseverance, spirit, perseverance, peace. Perseverance is going to bring your peace. Perseverance is going to take you to distant lands, places that you've never even thought to think of to experience, because it's a balance, it's a harmony that we spoke of earlier that won't have you questioning the cycles, because you will recognize the pattern and understand that the quest is going to have both the devil and the angel on there. And I'm hearing in the moment, like, look up look up what the actual difference between these two entities are, devil and angel, and you'll come to an ending that's gonna bring you so much peace. Like, bro, if people just did their own research, if people just use their emotions to feel through the conflict, definitely. Let's go back to the fishbowl, the fortune, your golden nugget, your, the luck of the goldfish, the luck of all of, the silver dollar, the rabbit's foot, all of the superstitions, the luck of all of that is in the knowledge, the knowing of something, and executing, experimenting on your findings. Broken heart, which trickles down to fear again. You're scared to be hurt again. There's already 3 knives in there. I can't take 4. I can't take another heartbreak. I can't take another ending. That's what I'm hearing. But endings bring new beginnings. Find peace and perseverance, not strength. Remember, perseverance is getting through something and getting that experience that comes with being resilient enough to make it through something. Being strong is just being able to bear the load. You get what I'm saying? It's two different things. Fresh start, spirits, fresh start. Obstacles and cross. You're at a crossroads. You're at a crossroads. So yeah, think about all of the obstacles. Me personally, and y'all know me, one of the obstacles is thinking that you gotta have a middleman to tap in the source. That's the major obstacle for a lot of folks. You know what I'm getting? But I'm also getting a fresh start is of course gonna bring obstacles. But I feel like not only are you gonna find a companion along the way, you're gonna find a home. To me, in this energy, what I'm feeling right now is the fear of this fresh start, because there's already obstacles. There's already people feeding you shouldn't do this, or you're gonna end up in the doghouse. And oh man, I try not to speak on people. Well, I ain't gonna speak on people. I don't have to say the person name. But when I first got started to really, really take my desire for entrepreneurship seriously, first started getting into my cards, spirituality, all of that. A motherfucker basically in so many words told me that I would end up in the doghouse. The motherfucker exact words was, "That's how you end up homeless." And that has been nagging at me. It come up every now and again. It come up every now and again. Ego acknowledgments. You get what I'm saying? It come up every now and again when it's like there's a tough decision to be made. Am I gonna move out of desperation, or am I gonna follow my purpose, follow my passion, rely on my perseverance and my desire to live peacefully? Every without fail, ever since that bitch said that shit to me, that came up. So that's why I said back to, if you can think back to the times where you thought that you was trusting your gut, but you made a decision that was influenced by the projections and voices and comments of others versus going with your first mind. If you could remember, if you went with your first mind or your gut feeling, or you let the ego acknowledgments make the ultimate decision. Because again, I ain't calling it good or bad, but the ego acknowledgments are the things that come up that the ego says to have you in that Three of Wands energy versus that Fool energy. Have you questioning whether or not you should make this swift action, whether you should take the leap for this new beginning, whether you should move in alignment or seek comfort, whether you should put yourself first, oh, and apply your unique skills, or go with the temporary eye candy. Mmm, baby. Mm. That's what the ego acknowledgments are. It's gonna be the name of the reading. Matter of fact, let me make that a note, y'all. Give me just a second. Give me just a moment to write this, to put this in my notes. This reading is called the Ego Acknowledgments. The Ego Acknowledgement. The Ego Acknowledgments. Name of 811 through 812 reading. Yeah. Are you gonna do that? And I'm so glad that this came up, because and that the energy that came up with it came with it, because the phrase here, the key words, being balanced, peaceful, and in harmony, perseverance and peace, even through obstacles. Because at the end of the day, bottom line, the car underneath it all, this shit is a dead end. So you're gonna have to have a fresh start. The fresh start is inevitable. So I'm hearing Paper Thin by Mid X. Uh Ain't no use of sitting around crying, whining and pouting about it. Show them, show them. Oh yeah, the rest of it. Yeah, no, well, show them niggas we could be gone just like the wind, because all the bullshit they trying to kick is still paper thin. In one ear and right out the other. I won't entertain you insecure motherfuckers. Sisters on a mission, kicking up dust, and take seven figures something. Yeah, now I'm starting to lose. I'm starting to lose. I know the song because I know the song, but I'm starting to lose what the words that they want me to say. Like I'm not keeping up with it. But essentially that is. Show them, show those folks that, feel like the only way out of an obstacle is to wait on Jesus. Respectfully, show them that ain't, no, that's not your path. Thank you, Spirit. No disrespect to them and their advice and their way of thinking and their perspective and what they align with. Thank you, Spirit. But that's not, it's a new beginning for me. It's a fresh start for me. And all that bullshit y'all trying to kick is still paper thin. It's still having me rob Peter to pay Paul. It's still having you be the thief of my joy with your consistent berating of, oh, this is evil, this is good, this is evil, this is good, while I'm expected to just be in the doghouse, loyal to the cross, which has been a dead end for me thus far. Which has been a dead end for me. This way of thinking, this way of moving, this way of reacting to my life situations has been a dead end for me. So, what are you really? What are you really for me? What are you really for me? Other than temporary temptation, eye candy, a dead end cycle, a loop to be repeated, to where I ultimately end up having to come back to you or wait for you to come save me. You get what I'm saying? Sorry, not sorry. Respectfully. Believe what you want to believe, but is what you believe working for you? Is it working for you? Is this temporary money, this temporary situation, this temporary ism that comes with other isms really sustaining you at this point? Like, just think about everything. I'm talking about full spectrum. Should this be something that you continue to believe is a fresh start, encouragement in any way, shape, or form? For motherfucker, for you to feel, know, and hear internally that you have a fresh start, but they telling you, oh, wait a minute, you got a fresh start. Let's pray on it. Let's get in touch with the middleman. Even though you done already got your shit straight from the source, you done already got your vision straight from the source, you done already got your answer of switch action straight from the source, but rejected immediately because it's the voices in my head. That's for somebody. Let's move on to alignment, Spirit. If you don't want to take this fresh start, or you don't want to take this new beginning, and you gonna let obstacles and you being at a crossroad, you having a tough decision to make, seeing you running back to seek comfort, that's on you. Can't nobody do it for you. But don't go trying to dim other people's light or steal other people's joy because of that. Yeah. Don't try to have people as your puppet being inactive, being stagnant over your own broken heart that you refuse to mend. Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming through here. But on the high vibrational on the not even high vibrational, the solution based, the ego acknowledgement, we acknowledging that the ego will send you back to comfort, will remind you only of the obstacles that are in your way, only of the words that have been spewed to you. All right, try my bad. At 49 minutes, the mic died, but it wasn't, it was 52 minutes for that whole section. Um, so it wasn't much missed from 49 to 52, 49. About 3 or so minutes, 4 minutes. But I was pretty much making a short story long. So with this 1313 obstacles and cross coming out with it, um, it's basically stating either you're going to take this starting fresh, because 1313 is starting fresh. I've been saying fresh start from the beginning since it came out, but in a sense it is a fresh start. But the emphasis is starting fresh. It's starting fresh for a reason, because you're starting fresh. You're not starting over. You're not starting over. So either you're going to take this opportunity to start fresh, not back, not over, not at, level zero, but starting again, starting fresh with a fresh perspective. Either you're going to do that by tearing down and unlearning everything that you learned thus far, no matter how old you are, and relearning this thing called life in the way that you want to interpret it. As I stated, with reading the Bible to get your own interpretation of it. Are you going to take authority with this opportunity for starting fresh, or are you going to run back to seek comfort and only acknowledge the obstacles? Let's get an alignment message, Spirit, an alignment message. Snake and message came out. Snake says, cold-blooded, self-interested, threatening individual and influences. Messages says expected or unexpected news, communication, reconciliation. That gives me the energy of figuring out if the snake is truly a snake or a serpent. Does the snake align with you? If it doesn't align with you, it's merely a snake in the same grass playing field as the rats that can't move forward. If it's a serpent bringing you a message of alignment, then that's what it is. But also, I'm getting with snake and message is that you received the message when you were shedding your old self, shedding your old skin. A harmony message is what I'm hearing as well. You got a message of harmony. This felt like somebody that did the inner work, that anchored down, focused on themselves for a while, isolated themselves on purpose on this quest, became the hermit, and seeked out opportunities and now they're expanding because of it. And now the things that are coming to them are majority things that align with them. They still have some things coming towards them that don't align, but they understand that that's the test in it all. That's the lesson in it all. That's the message in it all, to figure it out. That's what needs to be decoded. They're relaxed, possibly because they understand the pattern recognition of their perseverance. So they're at peace with the decisions that they make, right, wrong, or indifferent. They chose themselves first. They focused on themselves first. They went with that gut feeling. So they relax in the fact that that's what it is. Not looking to blame nobody. Like the snake slash serpent has been blamed for eons. At the very back of the deck, authority. Yeah. Because this is about self autonomy. This is about me, you, I, everybody taking authority over the messages that they choose to receive. I'm hearing phone on D&D, something something you cannot get in. That I need to figure out what that song is because it's playing through this whole reading. I'll figure out a way to figure out that song because I legit don't know it, but I keep hearing it's something something you cannot get in. But again, it's taunting. It's that taunting energy as well. Yeah, somebody wants complete control. I said control over your alignment. So they induce stress. So relax. Under relax is love. Under love is wise. Under wise is balance. Under balance is wealth. Under that is repair. And then they told me to stop. So the message that has been coming to you is to relax. Just relax, chill out. There's nothing you need to do but lead with love. Spread knowledge where you can, learn what you can, balance, harmonize your life, adult and child. Like, yeah, integration of all aspects of the soul. Everybody gets to say. That's why, thank you, Spirit. That's why at this juncture, this reading is ego acknowledgement. Just letting you know that everybody gets to say, oh, thank you, Spirit. Spirit brought me back to the whole ego acknowledgement message that I got earlier today. And because when I acknowledged ego today, I acknowledged ego, but I was like, hey, yo, I acknowledge you. I appreciate, your points. They could be valid. We'll check back in with that. But I acknowledge you in this moment, but you do not have the say so in this decision. I thank you for the unsolicited advice, but we still gonna keep moving forward, solution based versus obstacles and what could go wrong. that's what it was. That's what it was for me. And now we need to get a tarot message. Really? For this? Alright. They want supernatural. Okay. Yeah. I'm about to be honest with y'all. I don't know how this gonna go. Cause I don't know how this gonna go. because y'all know I am an intuitive reader. So not only does the meaning of the card, what it says at face value, come into play, but the imagery and what. All right, but Spirit said, and we gonna go with it. Coming out the gate, we got Seven of Pentacles. It's like, what is you focusing on too? Where does your focus go? The Hierophant at the very back of the deck. This definitely, the Hierophant being at the back of the deck, the Hierophant and this version of the Hierophant, Billy, she was a, yeah, new sheriff in town energy. Like, you're not about to keep getting away with the same shit that you been getting away with. And the fact that it's, the Hierophant card is number 5, and a lot of this has, not this new beginning, fresh start, has to do with transformation and cycles, which has transformation on it as well. So to recap, new beginnings, cycles, swift action. This stuff, oh shoot, this stuff having to do with transformation energy. Look, we're not about to. Thank you, Spirit. Getting too wrapped up. I don't know why these people keep coming around here. Brace for loud noise. I don't know why you keep coming messing with these people. Okay, so the character on the card is Arthur Ketch. Ketch. Part of the British Men of Letters. I knew he was men of letters. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, Spirit. I'll do that. For those that have never watched, we ain't even go. Spirit said, over explaining. Arthur Ketch is an expert, if psychopathic assassin whose illustration position in the British whose illustrious position in the British Men of Letters is due to a long history of achieving hard results in his brutal work. He's a man who keeps his eye on the long game, even when it comes to planning for his own death. The Seven of Pentagrams is a reminder to remember the long game. Don't focus on getting instant results. Instead, work hard to set yourself up for success. And yeah. Thinking of remembering the episodes, he definitely did. He planned it all from the beginning to the end. But I feel like that's the energy. The planning energy is the energy that you this in this reading you got to step away from. It's more or less focusing on not going after the eye candy, not going after the quick results, not going after the temporary thrills, taking swift action towards what will ultimately bring you to what you envision, that's going to ignite your spark. Yeah, bring you good fortune, be a blessing in disguise. Yes. I'm here. I was rubbing my eye and I was hearing keep your eye on the prize. I think it said that in there too. Keep your eye on the prize or keep your eye on the long game. Yeah, keep your eye on the long game. So it's like, and also I'm getting the energy of not watching the pot boil kind of energy is what I'm getting with that too. And like I said, Billy, she's the new Reaper. She's the new uh yeah, Reaper in the show. And she wasn't for making deals and all that stuff. She put her foot down, basically. She put her foot down on the loop, the cycle that Dean and Sam kept finding themselves in. Where one dies and the other tries to save them, and one went to hell, and you know what I mean. Like, if you know the show, you know the show. But all right, Spirit, let's get something on swift action 0808 and rejection. What's that about? Way too much. But Page of Bones. Sounds like it's about the quest. It's about your soul journey. It's about the action that you take next and not rejecting really any option at this point other than the option of failure, because you're already going to fail if you don't make swift action. If you don't take any action at all, you already lost. You already failed. So at this point, you, you can't lose. I'm hearing Jay-Z. I cannot lose. But here, let's get some energy. Let's get some messages on 8080 swift action clarified by rejection. What the tribe need to know. And I almost fell on the floor. Ace of Blades, the Emperor, and the Seven of Bones. So Ace of Swords, the Emperor, and the Seven of Wands. I'm getting the energy of understanding that rejection led you to a defensive stance where you had to hold your ground, stand in your authority as the emperor, be the father figure, so to say. And I like that those cards came out with swift action. Thank you, Spirit. I like that those cards came out because with the Ace of Blades, that's the Ace of Swords. So that's like not only clarity, but new ideas, new perspectives, new forms of communication, new mindset. Like I said, unlearn and relearn. That takes a transformation of the mind, combined with the Emperor, who is the authority, holds the world in his hand. No, that's the Two of Wands. But in essence, he holds life in his hand with the Ankh that he holds. But he's the authority. He's the authority figure in the deck. He's the Emperor. With the Seven of Bones, which is the Seven of Wands, ready and willing to fight, holding off. I'm hearing holding off his captors, but yeah, holding off the his opposition, holding off the obstacles that are coming forth towards him, trying to, you know, advance on his position. The Seven of Bones, who has already achieved the victory of going within. Thank you, Spirit. In this instance. So again, it's like starting fresh. For some reason, the Seven of Bones is got you. Okay, Spirit. Okay, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So although we depict this emperor, and every emperor is usually depicted seated, the actions of John Winchester, his swift actions, and every time he was on the scene, his swift actions, his record keeping, his scribing of his knowledge, experience, experiments, aka something that he passed down to the boys for their learning. He's already always ready to fight. Like you have the authority of an emperor, but the skill of a knight, if that makes sense. An emperor in knight mode. Thank you, Spirit. Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. That's why you're gonna make it through the battle. That's why you're gonna make it through the battle. I'm hearing you have the mark. You have the mark. Thank you, Spirit. You have the mark. Whatever that means for you, you have the mark. You're going to make it through. Like you have safe passage, is what I heard. The Four of Cups at the very back of the deck. Four of Goblets. So this is like prophecy type shit. Angel. He's an angel. He's an angel. He's an angel. This is the Book of Scrolls. The tablet. I can't remember the name of the tablet, whatever. But he is. They got the chicken. They got him with the chicken because um, that was his favorite thing. As an angel having a human experience, the food, the eating, the tape, the I'm hearing oh Lord, satiations. I can't even say the word. That was what sustained him. That he liked it. That sense that the of eating, tasting, and I'm hearing the Skittles thing right now. Taste the rainbow. I heard taste the knowledge, taste the rainbow, some shit like that. So that's basically giving me like learn with a lens, a full spectrum lens. You get what I'm saying? Like don't just go with your favorite, with the favorite thing that you like to consume. Thank you, Spirit. You're being guided elsewhere with the Six of Swords. Not necessarily to calmer waters, but to different experiences. Oh, Page of Blades. Does the scrolls really have and seers, decoders, prophets is really coming up heavy using this deck. Didn't happen before. I wasn't feeling like the prophesy energy using the angel number cards and the pink oracle deck. I wasn't. But looking back, yeah, quest, angel, devil, religion, organized religion, the serpent, theft, like extreme theft, extreme rat energy, and the waters of peace. Yeah, I can see it. It's like whoever this is, you feel like you have to be chosen to be able to live out your prophecy. And they're saying, in this sense, your prophecy is the vision that you see of your highest version of self, the final destination that you saw. And what final destination is bringing me to that movie franchise. And if I'm not mistaken, like all of them in some way had foresight or premonition, prophesied their death, but did not go with their first mind, did not trust their gut feeling. I'm a go back and watch one of the Final Destinations, but that's really what I'm feeling. And I haven't watched none of the Final Destinations in eons, decades. The Sun, Eight of Swords, Queen of Blades. Yeah. It's like knowing, but still knowing something, overthinking it, and not seeing the light of day is what I'm hearing. All right, Spirit, because this is already. Let's get something on cycles. 1919 quest, devil and angel. Let's get something on cycles. Clarified by quest, devil, angel. We got Three of Cups, Three of Goblets. Oh wow, with the Ten of Swords and the Tower at the very back of the deck. Hey baby. And it ain't about to shit. It ain't about to be nothing you can do to stop. It's not. Look here. It's happening. I'm here. We'll leave the light on. It's happening, baby. It's happening. Like I'm feeling two things of what is happening. It's happening that it's gonna be a shock. It's gonna be a crumbling of everything. It's gonna be a freaking shit show. Total darkness. Era. One, because what's gonna hit you the hardest is when you recognize the pattern of the cycles. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna hit you hardest for those that are beginning. There will be celebration along the way, along your quest, and definitely at the end, as long as you continue to push through. But there is, especially when it comes to mindset, mind state, perspective, what you currently know to be true versus actual truth. Now, I get it. I know y'all getting tired of, but I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, and obviously Spirit don't if I'm being told to read the title. This is Alma. This is Alma. Like this is Alma. She brought complete and total darkness. If I can remember correctly, this is who they said was God's sister, or or yeah, she was the sister of somebody in the show, but I could have sworn they said it was God's sister. But we about to go ahead. We about to go ahead and read the Tower, only because, and not the meaning of the Tower, but whatever. Look here, I'm sick of it. The Tower represents a powerful destruction, like the calamity caused by the release of the darkness god's sister, Amara. Yeah, Amara. I knew it was something to start with an A. Ama something. Amara. While this sort of chaos is often initially perceived as negative, the destruction ultimately leads to new beginnings, which can represent an important step on your overall life path. You see why it come out with the three of goblets? There will be celebration. Initially, it's perceived to be a negative thing, but I'm gonna read that over again because some of y'all didn't get it, but because of the way that I read it. So, Spirit told me to rewind it back, enunciate as I should, pause, basically pay attention to my what do you call those? Periods, commas, exclamation points. You get it. I can't think of the word right now. My readers, my word people, you get it. So the Tower represents a powerful destruction, like the calamity caused by the release of the darkness. God's sister, Amara. While this sort of chaos is often initially perceived as negative, the destruction ultimately leads to new beginnings, which can represent an important step on your overall life path. Cycles clarified by Quest, Angel, Devil, Amara, the Three of Cups, the Three of Goblets, and the Ten of Blades, Ten of Swords. Baby. And they want me to read this too because this scene is significant to the Tower. This scene is significant to the Tower. These two cards, front and back, these two cards, the bottom of the deck and the very back of the deck, the Three of Goblets is a perfect. It's a perfect. It's a perfect. It's perfect. It's. Let me calm down. I really fucking love this. Like, y'all don't understand. Ooh, y'all don't understand. Adam Milligan's life is filled with painful twists of fate. After growing up thinking he's an only child, Adam discovers he has half brothers, Sam and Dean, and is swept into their dark, complicated, supernatural world. Eventually, he's even sealed into Lucifer's cage along with Michael, Sam, and Lucifer. The 10 blades represent a dramatic turn of events and advises you to stay on your toes and expect the unexpected because you never know what fate has in store for you. You never know what fate has in store for you. It's telling you to stay on your toes, not live in fear, but basically to stay alert. Stay alert. You can stay alert for the dangers, as I said. You can stay alert. You can assess the level of danger along your quest, along your quest, and also realizing along your quest there will be tests, there will be illusions, there will be assistance, there will be tests, there will be illusions, there will be assistance. But do we notice? Do we all notice the underlying the common denominator in each of these photos? There's a vessel holding the light in each one. Cycles, pattern recognition, baby. These cycles are definitely going to be twisted of fate. Ultimately, there will be celebration. Cause for celebration. Thank you, Spirit. Ultimately, there will be cause for celebration, especially once you realize that one, rejection is your protection, and two, that all of these things that you kept fighting so hard to get into while people mocked you were never going to sustain you and your prophecy. You was just falling in the hole. You're gonna be trapped in the cage with Michael, Lucifer, and Sam. And it ain't had shit to do with you. It ain't had shit to do with you. But did it really? For those who watched the show. All right, Spirit, let's move on. New beginnings. New beginnings clarified by rats in reverse. New beginnings clarified by rats in reverse. New beginnings clarified by rats in reverse. Current position. The Six of Bones. The Six of Bones. Victory. So, you're smarter than the average bear. Not I'm getting Yogi Bear, boo boo. Look here, you're gonna have to be cunning when it comes to these rats. Because again, they have masks on. They're not presenting themselves to be rats at this current moment. Just like this character, he doesn't present, or you wouldn't look at him at first glance. You wouldn't judge this book by its cover and know that he's a fucking genius, graduated from MIT. Yeah, he looks like gutter trash, alcoholic, living in a bar. He's underestimated, the underdog. I love when this shit be coming full circle. Thank you, Spirit. Couldn't make this shit up if I fucking wanted to. Full circle. Your new beginnings, you're going to have to be okay with being perceived in a manner that you truly are not, in a manner that is the underdog. You want to be the champion so bad. You want to be perceived as the champion so bad. But I'm hearing, remember what happens when the champion gets dog walked by the underdog. And if you are in this rat in reverse energy with masks on, wearing masks, perceiving yourself to be something that you're not, one, I'm hearing change that around. But for those who are portraying to be something that they are not, oh, baby, you're not going to make it out alive, as he didn't make it out alive. So these fresh starts is not only for the tribe, but it's for everybody. Because these fresh starts is going to expose the illusionists that are portraying themselves to be magicians. They're going to bring out the geniuses that are perceived to be uneducated. Whew, whew. At the bottom of the deck, Queen of Goblets. And they wrote together. It's her bar that Sam and Dee encountered him in. I can't remember his name, but the Queen of Goblets. This rat energy could be a mother or a nurturing or a person that nurtured you. But I'm still getting it with the energy of it was a control tactic, a way to keep you from the life is what I'm hearing. The way to keep you from the life, a way to keep you, in their uh, in their eyesight, um, in their life, so to say, in a sense. But a way to be able to always have access to you. Thank you, Spirit, because that's kind of like that's not even kind. That's how she was with her daughter. She didn't want her to be a hunter, and it was a lot of control tactics used with the mother daughter dynamics of that. That's something for somebody in regards to the new beginning, because yeah, oh my God, Knight of Goblets. So another person that was perceived to be not so smart, the underdog. A very caring, empathetic person. Because I feel like underneath it all, that's what you are. That's what you are. So when you get so, that's what you are. Like, and I'm kind of gonna leave that there in a sense, but I do need to see something real quick in regards to this Queen of Goblets. Ellen, yeah, a nurturing but tough matriarchal figure. Oh, that's crazy. So, but I mean, I watched the show, so I'm not surprised by that myself, Spirit. Yeah, I'm gonna say because I'm getting various mixed messages with this, and nine times out of ten, it's just because there's just a lot of people like this can't be a personal reading, but the new beginning with this new beginning, Spirit doesn't want you to lose the nurturing aspects of you, the emotionally intelligent aspects, sweetheart version of yourself, because people perceive you as the underdog, because people discredit you and your expertise that shouldn't even be a part of your decision making, is what I'm getting. That's what these new beginnings are for. All of it's gonna have to burn down, and that version of you is gonna have to burn up with it. It's gonna have to die. That version of you. Yeah, the performative version of you. Okay, Spirit, let's get something on 777 perseverance and peace. 777 perseverance and peace. Page of Blades. That's Ken. Ken. He was a prophet that Sam and Dean encountered to read that tablet. He was definitely in search of peace because he was a teenager living his best life as a teenager, and then all of a sudden was a prophet called to read this tablet to assist in preserving, the world as we know it. But they saying Ken went off the rails. Me personally, I don't feel like he went off the rails. I feel like he was tired of being held captive. He was tired of living in fear and just said fuck it one day and left. Like, although I have everything that I need here to survive and to be safe, I am going mad being in this environment. That's what I get with him. Page of Blades, Page of Swords, basically. Page. Yeah. It's not that he wanted to be normal, it's that he wanted to be free. He was tired of living in fear because of his abilities, his unique talents. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Yeah, his unique skill set to be able to read that tablet. He was extremely scared when he entered the scene, but by the time he left, he had persevered through so much shit. He was no longer scared to embark on that, to leave on his own, even though it was being told to him that it was safer for him to remain where he was. He said, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm out. I'm sick of this shit. I'm leaving. Because if this motherfucker is in my head, he eventually gonna find me anyway. So if all of this shit is in my head, I'm in control of it. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. My perseverance and peace. I'm in control of either both of them, because all of it is in my mind. All is mind. At the bottom of the deck, the tower again. All this shit is chaotic. All these thoughts are chaotic. All these new abilities are fucking about to drive me mad, but I can't be scared of them. I have to hone them. I have to let destruction come. I have to surrender to the crumbling of what I once knew, to the crumbling of this fucking tablet, which it eventually broke. But yeah, to a bones. There's no more. I'd have no more time to plan, and planning lets the enemy know what I'm about to do next. And if the enemy is in your mind, of course, planning is going to give them the blueprint. It's going to crack the code. Starting fresh, spirit. Starting fresh. Clarified by obstacles and cross. 1313, starting fresh. Obstacle, cross. That's kind of a lot. But we gonna go with it. Fuck it. Page of Goblets. Eight of Goblets. Seven of Blades. The Magician. All in the current position. Straight off, just straight intuition. It's time to stop playing the backfield, the damsel in distress, the quiet, innocent little schoolgirl act. It's time to walk away from that. Hold your plans close to your chest. Definitely. Although you are capable of fighting the good fight, at this time, it's time to not. It's time to evade the fights. It's time to evade the fights. Because this fresh start is giving you the opportunity to truly be the creator of your own world. It is. It is. A Page of Goblets. Becky Rosen. Yeah. she was Becky Rosen. Becky gets swept up in her own romantic fantasies, sometimes losing sight of reality. The Page of Goblets tarot card advise you to keep dreaming big, but make sure your feet are on the ground. Sometimes this card heralds the start of a new close friendship or relationship. And with it falling out with these, I feel like she was the main one that was supposed to come out, and the rest of these are like advice on what you know. So to only think of the obstacles is not being tapped into reality, because reality is it could go either way, kind of sort of solely dependent on the way you look at it, the way you perceive it, what you're willing to walk away from, with the 8 of goblets, what you're willing to walk away from, what information you're going to conceal, willing to conceal. This is usually, people say deceit, but I feel like this is because it's air, one, communication, messages, shit like that, is holding what you know close to your chest. Like, holding what you know close to your chest. Not fighting unless you absolutely, not swinging your sword unless you absolutely positively have to. That means not engaging in the conflict if it's unnecessary. Not spending your energy, mental energy, emotional energy, engaging in arguments that have no bearing on your ultimate decision, on your skill as a magician and not an illusionist. There's a difference. At the bottom of the deck, 6 of Swords, 6 of Blades. You are being guided. You don't have to do anything but sit your ass in the boat and be carried to your next destination. At the very back of the deck, Temperance. Yeah, patience. Be patient. Solution based. And dare I say a little bit delulu. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, be delusional like her. Definitely. Definitely. Be delusional like her. Be delusional like her while also understanding the reality of what is. Yeah, the more I look at this tarot energy in conjunction with the oracle cards, this is giving me the energy of playing stupid. For some of y'all, it's necessary for you to come out unscathed, is what I heard. But for you to even just be able to break away, for you to have the encouragement, the ambition, the foundation to even move forward with the 8 of Goblets and walk away. Yeah. All right, Spirit, let's get something on 222 clarified by snake and messages. 222 clarified by snake and message. 222 clarified by snake and message. Wow. 2. This is the man of letters as well. This is Sam and Dean's great grandpa, I believe. He came to warn them, but then he was back and forth on whether or not he should return to his time. So he was weighing the options on what would happen if he went back to his time and if it was worth the risk, as I said before. All right, try. My bad. Let's go ahead and finish strong. It's been. He was the man of letters, deciding on whether or not he should go back to his time or stay. This is ultimately asking you to make the decision on what you're gonna do in regards to what aligns with what you envision as your final destination, your highest version of self. Also, that came out with the men of letters is Castiel and Well, Castiel, which is the Ten of Bones, and I can't remember who this lady is, but the Three of Bones, aka Ten of Wands and Three of Wands. We've been talking about Three of Wands before the Three of Wands even came out. So it's about foresight, using the foresight that you had, aka which is your vision, the version of your highest self, doing the damn thing and embodying that, realizing as Castiel did that there is a burden that comes with what it is that you're called to do or what it is that you are obligated to do. Also, there's a burden that comes with you making the decision that you need to make for your life, you receiving messages, you being the bearer of wisdom, just like the snake slash the serpent ended up being, you know demonized, made evil, because they brought forth a message of knowledge. But at the end of the day, it's on you. What aligns with you, the world. I'm getting focused on the road ahead. Only look in the rear view for review, or to ensure that no one's coming up on you faster than strength at the very back of the deck. To me, it's still giving me. To me, it's really giving me. It's still giving me the. It's all in the way that you look at it. It's all in the way that in which you see it. It's all in the way that you perceive the message. It's gonna be I'm gonna look into the Three of Bones, just because I wanna. It's gonna more will jog my memory if I know who the character is. Eve. Eve, as the mother of all monsters, is a powerful creatrix. She gave life to the great alpha monsters, who in turn procreated and manifested entire species of their kind. Three of Bones represents collaboration, creation, growth, and expansion, working together with others toward a common goal will, will lead to impactful, lasting success. Yeah. Does it align with you? Yeah, even the snake, even the serpent prophesied. But although Eve wasn't the one who was, you know, in religion, made to be the mother of all monsters, that was Lilith. So again, it's in the way that you perceive the message, in the way that you interpret the message of the serpent. What you see as a burden and what you see as freeing is what I'm getting. Also, what makes you feel empty and what satisfies your soul. Definitely, alignment is a gut feeling, is a feeling, it's a knowing. The mind will cloud things, but the mind is how you interpret the message. So, a reset, restart, reboot of the mind is necessary. Hmm. 21, which breaks down to a 3, creation energy. Yeah. I'm also hearing someone may be burdened by a message. What you do and the decision that you make still has to do with what aligns with you and your vision, your ultimate, goal, your ultimate path. But all in all, this message is about focusing on self first, ego acknowledgement of the things that could go awry, but also letting the ego know that they're not they're not the one driving the car. Ego, you're not driving the car. You can take a rest. You can take a rest at this time. There's some things that we gotta end that we won't be able to end as long as you're in the driver's seat because you a scary little bitch at the end of the day. So acknowledgement of ego and respectfully saying and letting ego know that they don't have, they're not driving. They're not even shotgun. Get in the back. Thank you for your, you know, thank you for the message. Thank you for, you know, for, giving us another perspective. But yeah, me and higher self here, you know, we on the road. I'm in the driver's seat. Highest version of self is in the passenger seat. Ego, you can go ahead sit in the back with shadow, inner child, masculine and feminine, and everybody else. All right, y'all. Lights done went out. Fucking candles done went out. Incense done went out. But at the end of the day, ego acknowledgement. All right. Until next time. Peace.